Good morning. Welcome to the Barracks newsletter. It's calendar week 31. Going bananas in a mad world. This week's Daft Punk climate headline: harder, better, faster, stronger. Bananas in Essex. Local banana fans surprised by his collection of 200 banana plants suddenly flowering and producing fruits. There is a reason why the variety of banana that Eric grows is not a thing you've heard of, the Musa Basjoo, and that would be that they're totally inedible. It's the Cavendish that we know from the supermarket, but still props to Bananaman. His passion is growing the not a tree, and he has been rewarded for his years-long efforts. 6 or 7 years ago, I bought a novelty baby banana tree in a 15-centimetre pot. The nurseryman and I knew each other a bit, and he scoffed gently, wasting my money on silly things. He had me down as a serious buyer of serious plants, I think. He said, "Well, you're welcome, but it won't last the winter." "I know, but it's a bit of fun, some Spass." He took my money, and we all left happy. Since then, I've repotted it a bunch of times, and yesterday it stood at about 1 metre 20 tall in a 60-centimetre pot, surrounded by its own baby clones. I bring it inside every winter, where it's perfectly happy in very subdued light, and nighttime temperatures of around 5°C for much of the winter, or in other words, an ideal hibernation situation. When we are long past the most pessimistic frost chances, I bring it outside to sit proudly on the loft porch. It gets damn good watering after being drip-fed all through the long dark days, and enjoys full days of sunshine. For at least the last 2 years, and especially this one, it's been harder to hokey-cokey it from the in to the out without damaging some of the leaves. For one, it's pretty heavy and unwieldy. For another, the loft was not designed for lumping around giant herbaceous plants. The doors, specifically, are narrow, low, and metal. I assume that the architectural considerations for easy in and egress whilst carrying banana plants are antithetical to siege warfare. Or in other words, I decided back in spring I was going to plant out the bananas. I have no idea what variety they are. Almost certainly Basjoos, not Cavendishes, but we shall see. And honestly, I hope to all the gods, the old and the new, that they never flower and never bear fruit. Obviously, I'll be doing everything I can to ensure they survive the winter. Cut off all the leaves, cover the stalks in bubble wrap, and encase the whole thing in about 6 foot of straw, and cover it with the biggest, heaviest tarps that I have. But I found the temperature chart for our man in Essex, and it's not good. Sure, he has bananas he can't eat, and only 2 nights, maybe 3, below freezing. But he might well not be able to grow apples. The best of the tree fruits of Europe all require chill hours. Apples, peaches, cherries and plums, all of which need to go to sleep for the winter, and for that they need up to 1,000 hours between 0 and 7 degrees. I've not spent a great deal of time analysing the chart for Rayleigh, but I'm pretty sure that there aren't enough cold hours to even grow pears or apricots, which can do with about 500 chill hours. You don't need to either. The graph shows the red line for the hottest temperature on a given day, and the blue line for the lowest. So the total temperature for the day is the area between the 2 lines. There are 8,760 hours in a year. Does this graph look like it's about an eighth of the area between the lines is under the chill line? Not to me, it doesn't. We've all been disappointed in the press and its reporting on the future effects of the coming climate apocalypse. The banana story was widely reported, and with the tone of a quirky feel-good tale of bananas. Lol. I didn't see a single report about Eric written by a journalist engaged enough to wonder aloud if there might be wider implications for the food we eat. And this in the same week where the farming press is worried that the wheat harvest is too dry to be useful, and the first murmurings of food security as a potential political issue are starting to rise to a whisper. 10, 20 years too late, but still. That is, whispers in the West. China has years of food reserves. No one outside the People's Republic knows much, of course, but they could easily have a decade's worth of grain reserves in massive silos. Russia, Iran, India all have plenty. Switzerland is the most progressive of all the Western nations, mandating a 3-month supply of wheat, sugar and coffee, so the important stuff first. Nothing is said about what happens after 3 months. No one else has anything, literally nothing. Britain, Germany, France, maybe 3 days each. And you know what? It's really freaking easy. I'm well on the way to building up a rolling 7 years of grain reserves. I reckon it takes 7 years to do it. And I did that by accident. Just good, sensible use of the land and a general understanding that market forces are literally the worst answer to any given question. Quit your job, get out of the city, join a self-sufficient community, buy a farm, move to the land. Do it today. I won't have any of you saying that it was a surprise. Just do your best day, folks. Much pirate love, your loving Pirate Ben. XO. XO.